ਲੱਖ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਲੱਖ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ ਜੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਦਰ ਕਰੇ
Memory, the triptych of encoding, storing, and retrieving information. It serves the purpose of influencing future action as language, relationships, knowledge, and identity grow around its axis. Unfortunately, the record of memories is usually made to serve power, pelf, and privilege paradigms, forgetting that the personal is often more pragmatic, persuasive, and definitely very pertinent. In this video, we hope to smoothen some memory bumps. The same reason why, since time immemorial, grandmothers have told stories to their grandchildren.
Amiji, tell us a story about your childhood.
My childhood.
Maybe like Tipan Dadi.
Okay, think of a story of Tipan Dadi and me. The first story that will come to me is about dance. You know, we used to learn Kathak dancing because Tipan Dadi was very good at it. She got a gold medal and she was the first in the when we had a youth festival first time in India. All the colleges from the all over India had sent their contingents to do these various dance and drama and all. She represented Patna University. Yeah, she was very good. So, and I actually didn't like to dance, but I was forced into it. And then one day, my mom, she was part of her club, ladies club, who wanted to have an entertainment show from the children. So she said, okay, my daughters will dance, and we were supposed to do a Radha Krishna number. And I was Krishna and Bhani was Radha. And it was a scene where Radha is going to fetch water. She's got her matki with her, and Krishna comes and tries to stop her from going, and she says, Nat khat pare hat rasta chad met chali pan ghat was the lines that she had to, and I had to stop her. So I just started pulling her, the matki. Now in the dance, one is supposed to do it very delicately and all, but then I started doing it. And he was just looking at me. What the hell is she doing?
What else?
She wasn't fond of dogs. Though we had dogs all our lives. And this dog of mine, Maxim, he was a black Alsatian big dog. She just didn't let him come into her room. And he was so obedient that he used to literally keep his paws on the line between our rooms and not enter. Even if I would be there, he'd be dying to come in. But he knew that Bhani didn't like it, and he did.
Is there anything that you guys did in school? Or?
In school, that was just before the partition, around 1947, early 1947, when everybody was very charged about independence from the British. So one day, one of the boys in my class, he came with a Indian flag stuck in his coat, and our teacher, the nun, she just pulled it off and tore it and threw it into the dustbin and said, none of this nonsense in class. You know, they thought it was revolutionary kind of.
Yeah.
So we were very pissed off. We said, what the hell has she done? I mean, she can't do things like that. So we marched, and we were little, second standard, chutkus. So we went marched off to Tipan Masi, Tipan Dadi for you, and told her all this. So she got her friends from her class. She was 3 years my senior. So fifth standard also was.
Yeah.
But even then they were. So they all said, how can she dare? Let's do something. So the next day we brought a Union Jack and we put it on in front of her in the class and started stamping on it. And she says, you can do that. I'm German. It was the biggest flop thing that could have happened.
Is there anything else? Do you have any other dance stories of people loving?
Oh, she used to give lovely performances, as I told you. But when she danced round and round, she used to take those chakkars. In Kathak, you have to take a lot of chakkars. And once she was doing this thing on the stage, and the Masterji with the tabla, and I used to sing on the harmonium, and we were sitting there on the side. And when she finished the dance and went down like that, she fainted.
What? Oh, like
She used to faint quite easily.
okay.
And I realized she's fainted.
Uh-huh.
But the person who had to put the curtain down thought that she'd get up and also, put the curtain down, put the curtain down, she's fainted. Oh, that doll story.
What dance story?
We were playing dolls and we were having a party for our doll. So we took some water and chopped it up with some paper into it and took it to Kadal Dadu, and we said, this is, we brought something for you, it's a party we're having. Yeah, I don't have paper. Says, so what would you like to have? And just to tease us, he says, mosquitoes.
Oh my goodness.
And Patna was famous. Mosquitoes were like hordes of mosquitoes. Literally, when you would sit in the lawn, you'd have mosquitoes hovering on your head like columns. So we were quite used to doing this and killing them all. But when he said this, and he said, in the day where we were.
Are you kidding? You guys actually.
Yeah, we did. We went into one of the rooms, and it was closed, and we found a whole lot of mosquitoes. We went on killing them and collecting them, and we got quite a few. We put them in.
That's so gross.
We put them in one of our doll plates, and we took them to Bhaji, and he said, so here's your dish of mosquitoes. He said, yuck!
Oh my goodness.
Hit it off our hands.
That sounds like so much fun.
It does. Are there
But
any
you know,
other-
Kaval Dadu was our judge. So anything that we did wrong, he used to do the sorting it out. And there was a very strict rule in our house that you can't be rude or abuse anybody older than you. And one day, Tipu Dadi was troubling me, and I got very mad at her. I got mad at her, but I said, "You are mad," I was going to say. I said, "Mad." Last minute it dawned on me that I shouldn't say mad. So she says, "You were going to say mad to me." I said, "But I didn't say it." So the case went to Kaval Dadu. And then he decided that no, she didn't say mad, so I can't punish her. And I got scot-free. But I felt a little guilty after that, that I'd done something naughty.
Believing strongly in the power of small histories that embellish big canvases, on the occasion of Tripat Baba's 85th birthday, we present a personal history in the voice of those who have known her for the longest, her siblings, cousins, friends, schoolmates, and college mates. But care has been taken to locate this personal history in a larger crucible, a national and international context. Tripat, who many of you know as Tipan, was born on 17th August 1935. 12 years later, in history, the 17th of August was to get recorded as the official date of partition because it was on that day that the lines which Cyril Radcliffe had drawn hastily, casually, and callously on the map of the Indian subcontinent, dividing it into two parts, came into effect. But in 1935, the mood was upbeat. Tripat was born to Sardar Lakhmir Singh and Sardarni Gurbachan Kaur in Ekant, 3 Panchkuya Road, New Delhi, in what is loosely called a Lutyens bungalow. This was a home birth, the third at this address. Her elder brothers Kavaljit and Surjit were born at this house before her. This bungalow does not exist now. In 1993, it was sold. Today, the Delhi Heart and Lung Institute is located here. To continue with the story of Tripat's birth, it was exactly 15 days earlier, on the 2nd of August 1935, the Government of India Act of 1935 was passed. This act, with its 321 sections and 10 schedules, remained for the next 6 decades the longest act to be passed by the British Parliament. It enhanced self-representation for Indians even under Dominion status, and by strengthening democracy and federalism, it eventually became the base for the Constitution of India. It was repealed only on 26 January 1950 when the Indian Constitution was formally adopted. Therefore, I believe Tripath is a child of modern India. However, the story with a greater bearing on her life is that of the 1934 earthquake. Soon after 2 p.m. on 15th January 1934, a terrible earthquake measuring 8 on the Richter scale destroyed vast tracts of land in Bihar and Nepal. Despite the fact that the epicenter of the earthquake was 10 kilometers from Mount Everest, the town of Madhubani was one of the many in Bihar that was destroyed. The then district magistrate of the region, G.C. Archer, on a tour of Madhubani, was stunned to see what the ruins had revealed. Beautiful, intricate, detailed, hand-painted images on the interior walls of the homes. He asked for these images to be studied and copied. That is how the world came to know about Madhubani paintings, which were till then a local artistic secret. Once reproduced on paper, they grew legs and have traveled the world over. Because of the large-scale destruction caused in Bihar, a massive program of reconstruction was planned. Tripath's father applied for the government contracts, and when he won them, his own father, Sardar Nechal Singh, who ran the contracting firm Nechal Singh Lakhmir Singh and was among the builders of New Delhi, being one of the many Sardar contractors who were subcontracted architectural projects in the making of New Delhi, he advised his son, Lakhmir, to move to Bihar to supervise this project personally. As part of this engagement, Lakhmir Singh built many of the defining buildings of Bihar, including airports, colleges, hostels, and railway stations. But most of all, he built a rich life for himself and his family in Patna. This is how, despite being born in Delhi, Tripath relocated to Patna as a 40-day-old baby and grew up there, leaving it only at the time of her marriage. The link between Madhubani paintings and Tripath's own life that has a strong artistic quotient is a serendipitous one. I hope that after knowing this, you will associate Tipan not just with dance, but also think of her whenever you see a Madhubani painting.
Tipan is 5 years my junior in age. Hierarchy and age therefore gave me the authority to teach her. My first duty was to expose her to the 3 R's of education: reading, writing and arithmetic. We started with reading and therefore taught her the sound of each word in the alphabet. For example, for B we would say B, 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 and for R, 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 R. She was all right. We wrote the word B-A-T, bat, and asked her to pronounce it. She would say B, B, and when we nodded our heads, she would come up with a queer tangent off to Q. And we said, how does Q come into this? But in due course, she learnt her spelling. Then it came to writing. Writing essentially meant spelling. She was okay, but certain letters, words, she just couldn't write correctly. For example, she could write longer, give the spelling of longer words, but when it came to so, she invariably wrote OS. I remember once on Dolly's door she wrote, "She is so stupid," and Dolly naturally complained. When we asked Teepan, she flatly denied. Then we asked her, "How do you spell so?" She said, OS. We said, "Well, that's what's written on the door." So she did accept and she apologized. Apology from the elder sister was a great thing then. Then it came to mathematics, reading, writing, and arithmetic. It was not her fault if she was not very good, because her teacher, Miss Thomas, wasn't very good either. Every time she was stumped with a problem in geometry or algebra, she would ask Teepan to go and get it solved from your brother. And the solution next morning she was asked to write on the blackboard. The word gradually went around that Teepan was very good, in fact, in arithmetic, because she had the solution for all the problems. In the course of teaching, there's one incident I cannot forget, and she cannot forgive me for that. I was flipping through her books and there was a photograph of Dilip Kumar. I said, "What is this?" "Oh, Baji, I love him. I love him." Love? I took that photograph, tore it, gave her a tight slap, and I said, "Stop this sort of thing." She wept and she wept. Never forgot it, never forgave.
How can I talk about you without mentioning your passion for dancing? You were taking part in the Inter-University Youth Festival and won prizes in many other performances too. And it was impossible to stop you from jumping up and doing the bhangra whenever there was a wedding in the house. It was not easy to control you even at that time. No wonder Mummy always called you Titli, because you were always flitting around and moving to think of your next move. You have been a real big sister for me in the true sense of the word. And whenever I had any worries, I would always go to you and share them with you. Even at home, in the home front when we were children, it was you who had to fight our battles in the home front. Whether it was to join Patna College, which was primarily a boys' college, and wearing sleeveless shirts, it was you who had to make the parents get convinced and agree to it. After that, Dolly Bhani and I had it easy. We followed in your footsteps and we all played table tennis and became champs also. But it was you who became Bihar #1 ladies TT champion, and that too wearing high heels, an achievement which was very great for that time. In college, I took up psychology as a subject because you had done psychology and you raved about it, and I realized that that was a very good subject to take, and I never regretted that decision till today. You made me join Bharatnatyam dances in spite of the fact that you had done Kathak yourself, because you felt Bharatnatyam was more the dance of the day and was being appreciated more in those days. You were always after us to study and achieve high goals, and later you were after your own children, Arshia and Ikram, also, who have now done very well in their lives. You were exemplary in the way you looked after Mohan Bhaji during his last years of ill health.
My dearest Tipan Bhani, this is to wish you a very happy 85th birthday. वैसे देखा जाए तो ये 85 का जो नंबर है ना, आपके ऊपर जचता नहीं है. चलो खैर, मुझे एक बचपन की कहानी याद आ रही है. शायद मैं 8th स्टैंडर्ड में था. One day mummy got hold of my arm and led me to you and said, "काकी, हुन मैं 6 ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ, ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਏਂਗੀ." And she handed me over to you and you said, "ठीक है जी." And with the strong grip on my hand which you said, "हाँ जी, मैं पढ़ाऊंगी," I understood the real meaning of arrest. Then you led me to my room. वहाँ टेबल, कुर्सी, मेरे books, and you made me sit on the chair. आई हैड नो चॉइस, बैठ गया, कुर्सी में बैठ गया, पढ़ने लगा. एंड व्हाट यू डिड वाज, यू वेंट आउट ऑफ द रूम, क्लोज द डोर, गॉट अ चेयर and sat on the chair like a थानेदारनी. मैं तो अंदर हाउस अरेस्ट. ये सिलसिला जो है 3-4 दिन ऐसे ही चलता रहा, एकदम आर्मी डिसिप्लिन, रेजिमेंटेड. मैंने जो आपका अंदाजा लगाया था ना, आई वाज रॉन्ग. यू आर अ हार्ड नट टू क्रैक. अब ये रेजिमेंटेड अरेस्ट मेरा चलता रहा 3-4 दिन के बाद, और मैं मनी मान सोचता था कि आपको भी कोई आ जाए ना अरेस्ट करने वाला, तो आपको पता लगे. 3-4 दिनों के बाद में आई कुड नॉट बेयर दिस एनी मोर. मैंने सोचा आपको ना एक चकमा दूंगा मैं. व्हाट आई डिड वाज, एक मैंने पिलो लिया, उसको मैंने अपने शर्ट पहना दी और उसको कुर्सी पे रख दिया. पिलो के ऊपर एक फुटबॉल मेरा था वो रख दिया, और मेरी पगड़ी थी मैंने फुटबॉल के ऊपर रख दी. हा, मेरा पुतला तैयार, मैं बड़ा खुश. मेरा पुतला पढ़ रहा है, मैं चला गया सोने. 3-4 घंटों तक तो मैं आराम से सोया रहा. मीनवाइल दरवाजे के बाहर कुर्सी पे आप खड़े होके ओवर द डोर जो स्काईलाइट थी, यू वर पीपिंग इन कि मनी पढ़ रहा है कि नहीं. 3-4 घंटे निकल गए इसी तरह से, आप ऊपर से देख गए. एंड यू थॉट इतना लंबा तो मनी पढ़ रहा है आज, ये क्या बात है, मैं देखूं तो सही. सो यू ओपन द डोर, यू सॉ माय पुतला पढ़ रहा है और मैं आराम से सो रहा हूं. जब दरवाजा खुला ना तो मेरी नींद खुल गई, और मैंने सोचा लो आज तो आई मेरी शामत. लेकिन आपने जो ये पूरा सीन देखा, आप तो हंसने शुरू, हंसते 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 आप गए मम्मी को भी बताने, डैडी को भी बताने, और सब लोग हंस रहे. उस दिन मेरे को आपके बारे में एक चीज समझ आ गई. आप ऊपर से जितने स्टर्न दिखते हो ना, अंदर से हो नहीं, आपका दिल बड़ा कोमल है. यानी आई ओ दैट वेरी गुड रिजल्ट इन सीनियर कैम्ब्रिज टू यू. यानी माई गुड रिजल्ट्स इवन इन IIT बॉम्बे, आई ओ इट टू यू.
जैसे मैंने सिर्फ सबसे पहले ये बताना था कि जॉइंट फैमिली में कितना फन होता है, कितना हम लोग एंजॉय करते हैं. मामा जी ने ऑर्गेनाइज किया था श्रीनगर जाने का लॉन्ग टाइम बिफोर, इवन बिफोर पार्टीशन. उस वक्त एक ही रास्ता होता था, रावलपिंडी से हम लोग जाते थे. तो वी वेंट बाय ट्रेन टिल रावलपिंडी. वहाँ से वी हैड टू टेक अ बस, और वी वर 14 पीपल फैमिली विथ 2 सर्वेंट्स. हम लोग 16 लोग गए थे, और बड़ा रास्ते में भी एंजॉय करते गए थे. एक सबसे अच्छी नहीं मतलब अजीब बात मेरे को लगी थी कि जब हम लोग खाना किसी ढाबे पर खाना खा के हटते थे, तो बस सबको ही आंटी चांद की चुन्नी थी, दुपट्टा था जो कि खद्दर का बना हुआ था. तो हम लोग सबको ही उसी से हाथ पोंछ लेते थे कि अच्छी तरह पोंछे भी जाएंगे. उनके दुपट्टा तो ख़राब हो जाता था, पर वी यूज़ टू एंजॉय. उसके बाद हम लोग श्रीनगर पहुँचे, तो हम लोग सेकेंड फ्लोर पे हमें फ्लैट मिला था, वहाँ हम लोग रहे थे. तो वहाँ से ऊपर से हम लोग ना पंजाबी बोलनी तो आती नहीं थी, तो हम लोग ऊपर से बोलते थे ओनी सिर निकाल खिड़की में से. तो नीचे एक खिड़की थी जो फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे लोग रहते थे, उनमें से कोई खिड़की से बाहर सिर निकालता था, तो हम लोग उसके ऊपर मटर के छिलके डाल देते थे. तो बच्चे थे हम लोग, वी यूज्ड टू एंजॉय दैट ऑल्सो. ग्रुप सा बना हुआ था, उसका नाम ही हमने दुक्की, टिक्की, चौकी, पंजी ये रखा हुआ था. दुक्की मीन्स Joy and Mani. Mani was hardly 1 year old that time. Or Tikki was Surinder Bhaji, Kaval Bhaji, and Surjit Bhaji. And Chauki, we were Chauki. Tipan, myself, my sister Beena, and Dolly. So we were Chauki. And Panji was Kaval, Mama ji, Mami ji, my mom, and Auntie Chand, and Goody Sissy. ये इनकी पंजी थी. सो हम लोग अपना प्रोग्राम इसी तरह बनाते थे. नॉर्मली हम लोग क्योंकि बहुत छोटे थे, बच्चे थे, फ्रॉकें पहनते थे. आई थिंक 10 years old दैट टाइम. तो हम लोग गार्डन में ही, सामने एक गार्डन था बहुत अच्छा मेंटेन किया हुआ. हम लोग वही गार्डन में जाते थे खेलने के लिए. और वहाँ से फूल तो तोड़ने मना थे, माली गुस्सा होता था. सो इसलिए हम लोग वहाँ से बीज तोड़ के लाते थे, फूलों के बीज तोड़ते थे. वही हमारे को बहुत अच्छा लगता था. एक ही बेड के ऊपर हम लोग चारों सोते थे, क्योंकि थे छोटे छोटे थे चारों ही. बेड बहुत बड़ा था. सो वहाँ पे फिर हमें बच्चों को, चलो मटर छीलो मटर छीलो, तो हम लोग सारे बैठ जाते थे मटर छीलने के लिए. अगर हम खाते थे उसको छीलते छीलते, तो हमें आगे टोकते थे कि मटर तुम लोग खा लोगे तो सब्ज़ी क्या बनेगी. तो हम लोग क्या करते थे ना, जो छोटे छोटे मटर दाने होते थे उनको छिलकों में फेंक देते थे. और बाकी जो मोटे दाने वो डिश में रख लेते थे, उनको दे देते थे. और जब वो लोग चले जाते थे, मतलब लेके जाते थे दाने, तो फिर हम छिलकों में से जो छोटे हमने छुपाए हुए थे, उनमें से निकाल के फिर हम लोग खाते थे.
1935, the year of Tripat's birth, saw the annual session of the Indian National Congress not happening. This had happened once before, in 1930, when the civil disobedience movement was on. This time, the reason for not having the annual session was more positive, as the Indian freedom fighters were busy translating the legal advantages gained with such difficulties in the Government of India Act of 1935 into political advantage. But clouds were gathering in the international arena. Within a few months of Tripat's birth, the rumblings of the storm called the Second World War began. In October 1935, Italy annexed Ethiopia. Just before her second birthday, Japan annexed China, initiating the Second World War in the Pacific region. A few months before her third birthday, Germany annexed Austria. Just after her fourth birthday, Germany invaded Poland, starting World War II in Europe. Within a year, Germany had invaded the rest of Western Europe. Just after her sixth birthday, on the 7th of December 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked. On 6th June, a few weeks before her ninth birthday, the Allied forces landed on the Normandy coast, marking a turn in the fortunes of the Axis powers. Almost 11 months later, Hitler lay dead. A few days before her 10th birthday, the bombs fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. A few months after her 10th birthday, in December 1945, the elections were held in India that put it on the path to freedom, but also made partition inevitable. Partition impacted Tripat's maternal family. Sardar Sujjan Singh, who was mayor of Sargodha, evacuated his family from that city by a special Dakota plane. His wife, Lakshmi, was heartbroken to leave her cows and lands behind, and they arrived in India with just their valuables wrapped hastily in a bedsheet. Mercifully, no one in the immediate family suffered the violence. Given the fact that Patna was a famous education hub of India then, many of the family members, dislocated now, stayed with the Lakhmir Singh family and studied in Patna in school, college, and university. Thus, despite having come away from the joint family in Delhi, the Singhs built another joint family in Patna, allowing Tipan to grow up with her cousins. During those days, when Tripat's grandmother, her Nani, popularly called Beji, was still alive, once Gurbachan Kaur, her mother, had to rush to Delhi. By then, the teenaged Kawaljit, Surjit, and Tripat were learning ballroom dance with an Anglo-Indian brother and sister duo, Edna and Edwin. Beji, whose eyesight by then had become quite weak, was told to keep an eye on the youngsters to prevent any hanky-panky happening. Beji sat throughout the dance class, but with her eyes shut as she recited her prayers. I guess she hoped that God would intervene to douse adolescent urges.
The greatest favor Tipan did to us was the company of girls. On her birthday parties, Dolly's birthday parties, they were all over the house. And our first steps in dancing, foxtrot, waltz, tango, was holding those girls close to us. They also taught us that you can hold a girl close to you and behave yourself. Who in fact can forget Audrey, the beauty of Patna, Chandan, Inder, Mabel Jahan and all these? They were the girls who taught us the initial way to socialize with girls.
Life was quite disciplined for the children of the Singh family. Every Sunday they would go to the Patna Sahib Gurdwara, where Sardar Lakhmir Singh was the president, a post he commanded for 27 years. After the services in the Gurdwara, they would drive straight to the movies. On Sundays, it was English movies that were screened. One of the much-loved additions to the large joint family that had now struck root in Patna was little Sunita, who came as an infant and stayed on.
I was the much spoiled walkie-talkie doll of the family. Being the eldest grandchild, everybody had given me pet names. For Dolly Masi, I was her cuddly puppy. Tipan Masi, who hated dogs, called me lovingly her pussy cat. Fun-loving Masi, always brimming with energy. She loved dancing. During her stint in Sangrur, she picked up Gidda. Subsequently, at all family weddings, she would be the star and perform with great grace and vigor.
It is true, Tripat hated dogs till she fell in love with this one, Tyrion, in a way her great-grandchild, and actually apologized to younger sister Dolly for having been unkind to Maxim so many years ago.
After schooling, where she passed senior Cambridge with distinction, she joined the Patna Women's College for her graduation. But for her post-graduation in psychology, she joined Patna College, which was a co-education, thus breaking new ground for the girls of this family. She was smart, fair, and good-looking, and she would drive to college in a car. That certainly drew the attention of the boys. She was very popular, especially because she was good in games. And I remember a function in Patna College when the governor, M.S. Annie, was invited to give away the prizes. When she kept on walking up for prizes one after the other, he said, "Congratulations, you are a role model for girls."
Hi Tipan, happy birthday and lots of blessings. Arshia wanted us to do this for you, and we can't come there, but we're sending our good wishes. And she wanted me to have some memories. My best memories are when we were in school. That was the best time of our lives.
Hello, Tipan. We had a wonderful time in college. You were my table tennis partner and the table tennis champion of Patna College. We had fun time. Many happy returns and happy birthday.
Thripat danced in honor of the centenary year of a school.
And then actually got to attend its 150th anniversary. One of the stories about the school, St. Joseph's Convent, that has not been told is how the German nuns would distort names. So Sheila Shrikantaya became Sheila She Can't Hear, and Mamta Niyogi became Mamata Niyogi.
Tipan, my dear friend, reaching a milestone, and I'm so happy and very proud to be part of this celebration, and I consider it an honor and privilege to be able to say a few words on this occasion. I just took a walk down memory lane, and it first started at our school, St. Joseph's Convent, where we were students as young girls. I would bump into you. We were not in the same class, but I also remember Dolly and Joy, your sisters, were there. I don't know whether I have that many photos of those years, Tipan. Taking photographs were not quite the thing that we did in those days. What I also wanted to bring up was my college days and the days at the university. We were so few female students that we always stayed together in the common room and did things together. You were, I think, in the Department of Psychology doing your honors and then went on to do your masters, and I was in the English department. But we had such great bonding, and those were really the days, I feel, of innocence, carefree spirit, and great camaraderie. You have been a wonderful woman, great in your achievements, in bringing up a fine family with a wonderful daughter. And I haven't met your son, but Arshia is as good a daughter for me as she is to you. And we are attaching a photo where Bans is joining me to wish you a very happy 85th birthday. God bless you.
I have very pleasant recollections of getting to know and interacting with Thripat in college. It was way back in 56-57 in Patna College. She was then a 6th year student of psychology. She had a distinctive persona and was also a serious scholar. As a matter of fact, I worked with her as a subject for the dissertation that she was doing for her MA degree, something to do with aspects of anxiety. She was really thorough in her search for answers to questions that arose on the theme of her study. I'm talking about times more than 60 years ago, when the environment in educational institutions was remarkably different from what it is today. Generally, girls did not participate freely in sports and games, in theatrical and other extracurricular activities. This inhibited social exchanges. A virtual wall separated the student lives of boys and girls.
Friends, they say memories are like roses in December. Memories of old friends most certainly are. Tipan and myself, our friendship goes back to 1946, but the most interesting and wonderful years that we have spent together were the 4 years we spent in Patna College, which was the premier boys' college in Bihar. I joined in 1952 and she in 53, as she was a year junior to me. We were known as the convent girls because we had come from women's college, which was run by the Carmelite nuns. The first few days in the college were more, in the experience of a co-ed, was most disheartening because there was a parda system in the college that the lives of the girls were confined to the visit from the ladies' common room to the lecture halls and once in a while to the library. But the arrival of the convent girls was about to change things there. We all made up our minds that we would wander freely all over the college, unconcerned about the stares of the boys. Soon the boys accepted us for what we were, and this led to a very healthy relationship between the boys and girls. We started representing the college at indoor and outdoor games of inter-college competitions, and the boys who were the experts in those games came to give us coaching lessons to improve our skills. Of course, social distancing was maintained, but despite that, we won prizes and celebrated them with parties given by the sports committee. Mind you, it was in college and at tea time only. In the year 1956, my batch was about to bid adieu to the college as we had completed our post-graduation. Tipan and her, who was the secretary of the ladies' common room, decided to give us a farewell. She collected money from the 30 girls who were staying back and arranged the party. She acted on the principle that either we call all the boys or we call none at all, and we did not have the funds for calling everyone. It did not go down well with the boys of the common room, dons of the boys' common room, who threatened us and said, "Let's see how you have a party without us." This was like showing red rag to the bull. Tipan dug in her heels and said, "Let's see who stops us." The boys were really mean. They stopped the peons and the helpers from giving us any assistance and did not even let us take their chairs from the common room. It ended up with Tipan and her team of 4 or 5 girls carrying the chairs from the ladies' common room to the tennis lawns, which is about 1/4 of a mile away. The party was a great success, and the Sullen boys had lost the battle. The ladies had won the war. And Tipan and her team had proved that while girls may look delicate and fragile, they have tremendous willpower. We said it then, and I say it again. 3 cheers for Tipan. Hip hip hooray.
My dear old friend has always aspired for heights, for which she had to fall in love with her elevators, the 3.5-inch high heels. They were inseparable. They served her well in a badminton tournament to rise above the net, but met their Waterloo when carrying her back to the house from the mall. The heels had to take a ride in my pocket, and the petite lady walked barefoot for 2 kilometers. Don't grow too old too fast.
Dear Tripat, happy birthday to you and many happy returns. This one is special. Looking back, I recall the time we spent together in Patna. Being away from home, your friendliness and jovial company made my stay at the university a pleasant and memorable experience. We were very lucky to have excellent teachers like Professor Abidin, Professor Durganand Sinha, Professor A.K.P. Sinha, Professor Mohsin, and Dr. Sain Majumdar. I often recall the simple ways with which Professor Abidin could explain complex concepts. I think you'll agree with me. He also took special interest and helped students in many ways and was a mentor to some of his students. Can I include you and me here? Remember how worried he was when Asma, you and me returned late to the guest house after our looking around trip in Ranchi? I also remember he was your subject for one of your experiments. He thought highly of you as an interviewer. Do you recall our trip to the mental hospital in Kanke, Ranchi? This mandatory visit was really very educative one, giving us some insights to understand the clinical aspects of abnormal psychology. We watched the shock therapy, the EEG, and the various ways patients' behavior was observed during the recovery process, as well as the follow-up. It was a chilling experience to watch the shock therapy. Apart from academics, a memorable event was the boat ride in our picnic trip. Our whole group enjoyed the day with songs, listening to jokes, etc. Of course, you may remember singing the Punjabi folk song, Kudi Si Main Fashionable. Oh, what fun! Unfortunately, in the middle of this boat trip, some problem developed in the boat and it had to be rowed back carefully with the assistance of some of us in the group. I guess you were one of them. Bravo! Together we shared lots of interesting experiences and had a great time. But after I left Patna, we lost touch. Thanks to our friend Arjun Purohit, who was visiting with his wife from Kingston, Canada, who brought us together again in Delhi in your house in the year 2000 or so. It was such a nostalgic meeting. We also met your husband, Mr. Bawa, that day. Very pleasant and affectionate person indeed. After this, we have been constantly in touch, isn't it, Tripat? We even landed at yours one day on your anniversary without knowing about it. It was such a pleasure for us to share your happy moments and watch you both cutting the cake. Once again, Tripat, Sartaj and I wish you a very happy birthday and a long life full of joy, good health and prosperity. Love, Purnima.
One story that follows this is when Tripat went back to visit Dr. Abidin after having her first child, her daughter Arshia. Abidin Sahab asked her, "So all your child psychology must be coming in handy now?" Tripat promptly replied with a sigh, "Abidin Sahab, the child has not read the same books."
I have known Tippan, that is Tripat Raj Singh, daughter of Sardar Lakhbir Singh. I still remember her father's name very well. And I've known her for last 66 years, from 1954. 1954 में हम इकट्ठे गए थे फर्स्ट इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी यूथ फेस्टिवल, और क्या मज़े किए थे। हरिद्वार भी गए थे, साइट सीइंग के लिए भी गए थे, बहुत ही मज़े आए थे और बहुत सी नोटी बातें हमने की थी, बिकॉज वी वर यंग देन, वी आर स्टिल यंग। आई हैव लर्न फ्रॉम टिप्पन when I met her recently मतलब about 5 years back in a jeweler shop. So I said, Tippan, मैं अब क्या करती हो? I'm 80 now. So she said, so what, Santosh? I have turned 80 some time back. So what? We are not old. We must live our life happily, whatever time God has given us. So Tippan, God bless you. On your birthday, on 85th birthday, I'm also going to follow you soon, in a few months. My wishes and love to you. God bless you.
We competed in the same category, classical dance. You represented Patna University and danced in Kathak style. I represented Utkal University, and the style was not known to anybody. It was Odissi. And you will remember that many people were totally confused when I danced, and maybe in confusion gave me a lot of ovation. I remember you as a stunning performer, looking so beautiful, dancing so elegantly, bringing in the nuances of the Mughal style of Kathak. You were so beautiful and so attracted everybody's attention, so much so that the Illustrated Weekly had your photographs published. I even remember that our judge, the legendary Sambhu Maharaj, going to you and blessing you. You often talk about the white dots on my face which we used for our makeup and how much you were enamored by it. So much so that you insisted on having it for your makeup for your wedding. Tripath, would you believe that after that the white dots has made it to the makeup of almost all styles of classical dancing and also in other forms of art. So white dots live through us. Later, we met through Arshia, who showed up in Utkal University during the Konarak festival. She had come to cover it. She introduced herself as the daughter of somebody who competed with me in the classical dance category from Patna University in the first Inter-University Youth Festival. She was as stunning and as beautiful as you, and I could relate you very much. Since that day, we got connected through Arshia and have become one family, so much so that she calls me Mausi. After that, we got together during my frequent trips to Delhi. It was so wonderful, Tripath, to get together in Sangeet Natak Academy in 2014 to talk about the first Inter-University Youth Festival, and Kuku was there. And we went back and talked so many things, and there were so many questions. And it was an occasion which I will never forget. You and me again, together on stage, not separately. You have been a perfect host, friend and well-wisher, helping me in so many ways. I don't know how to thank you. I have one regret, is that although Arshia and Adil have visited us several times, you never visited us, so I never had a chance to reciprocate all that you did for me, and like old times had our girly days together. On this auspicious day, many happy returns of the day and all the happiness of the world. And under the circumstances, here is my virtual hug to you. I hope you can get it. I'm sure you got it. God bless.
I have known Tipan since we met first time in Youth Festival held in Delhi, year 1954. Our friendship grew over the years. She is my friend as well as my nana too. Whenever we met, we spent time with each other, unaware of the clock ticking. We were together in Chandigarh for some years, and she used to come to my house and expressed her feelings that this house was like her local Maika, which actually further bonded our relationship so much. But this lockdown, my God, it has made us, stay apart for a long, long time. We only now chat on telephone for hours and enjoy each other's company. Tipan, stay blessed. 85th happy birthday, my dear.
Few of the memories I have of Tipan Bhani are her graceful dances in the Sangeet ceremonies during the family weddings and her naughty remarks and grins. Another is the time when I was working in Fairfax with her for a short while. I still remember her disciplined and organized ways. Rest all that I can say is that she still carries her grace and elegance. Still another is when she was elegantly dressed in a pretty chiffon sari and high heels when Mohan Bhaji had come to Ekant around her engagement time.
वो जो मैं दुआ करता था कि आपको कोई थानेदार ले जाए, भगवान के पास वो भी कबूल हुआ। आपको एक IPS थानेदार राइडिंग ऑन हिज हॉर्स टेंट पेगिंग करता हुआ आया और आपको ले गया।
The year that the Dalai Lama fled China and arrived in India to live in exile was the year that Tripath got married. Just 6 weeks before her wedding, which was on the 1st of November 1959, television came to India as the Sight experiment. The very same year, the Bajaj Group of Industries got the license to build its two-wheeler scooters. It is said that Mohanji described his first glance from her as that of a tigress, and we know that he did have a fascination for tigresses.
कट मौलिया आत्म परगास कट मौलिया आत्म परगास कट मौलिया आत्म परगास मौली तरती मौलिया आकाश मौली तरती मौलिया आकाश।
Hi Tipan Chachi, many happy returns of the day. I just wanted to tell you that, I have a very unique honor and I'm sure that I am the one who has it. Is that I am the first Baba who kissed you. I can still remember the evening. It was late at night when your dolly came and my mother rushed in and woke me up and told me, go and kiss Chachi, go and kiss Chachi. And I rushed out and I saw this like a doll all decked up, so beautiful, sitting in the car, and I jumped in and I was the first one, and your nut came in the way, and I can still remember it, and I can still remember, that was the first wedding in my life. You were the first bride I had ever seen, and I'm sure that Moni Chacha hadn't managed to give you a kiss before I did.
Mohanji or Manmohan Singh Bava, Indian Police Service, IPS, 1955 batch, was an avid mountain climber. Having been trained by Tenzing Norgay, he chose to take his new bride on a honeymoon to Kullu and Manali, which at that time was quite beautiful in a pristine sort of way, but was quite backward as well. So backward that when Tripath fell ill there and got a fever, the only person with any medical experience in the vicinity was a vet. And he came to take her temperature with a thermometer that said readings demarcated for horse, cow, goat, donkey. Despite the grossness of this story, suffice it is to say that they also got a chance to take some old-fashioned honeymoony photos, and one that won Mohanji a prize. From the charmed life she lived as an unmarried girl, she entered after marriage a typically Punjabi patriarchal family with 4 sons and no daughters to mitigate the situation. The landing was rough, but it made her determined to be of help to those who followed.
A very happy birthday, Tipan Bhabi, from Bubby and me. Tipan Bhabi, I have a little memory, pleasant memory. I was a new bride in Amritsar. It was our reception. and the only parlour in Amritsar happened to shut early that day, despite my appointment. So you and me went there, and you said, "Don't worry, Shashi, I'll help you. I'll do your hair. I'll help you with your sari." It's something I'll always remember. You saved my day, Tipan Bhabi. Thank you. And another memory of mine, ours in your house, was the lovely white butter always on your table.
What caught Tripath by surprise was the frequent transfers from Ambala, where she went as a new bride, to the desert city of Ajmer in the west, to Kohima in the east, from the new city of Chandigarh to the old city of Jammu, from the modern Madhuban police campus to historical and laid-back Patna, from Sangrur in the hot hinterland of Punjab to the mostly wet city of the Red River and Blue Hills, Guwahati. Packing and unpacking became second nature for her.
I remember many years ago when you came to Gomia, it was such a nice thing for us to have visitors at that time. My friend had met you at Tenughat Dam, probably where you stopped for some tea, and he told me that I met Sunita's aunt and she looks exactly like Sunita's mother. And he was full of praise, and that's how we knew that you were coming in a little in advance of your actually reaching Gomia.
Hi Tipan, a very happy birthday to you. How I wish I was there to greet you personally. I am missing you, cards and delicious lunches given by you. Once I remember somebody prepared a pudding in your house and it didn't turn out well. So maybe what you did, I don't know, you were telling me that you have done something and the result was very good. It was absolutely delicious.
I have long memories of our acquaintance and friendship with you and the family. Many a times we visited your farm. One was very impressed with the way you controlled everyone at the farm, the workers, and of course the revenue staff.
Tripath has been a hands-on mother for both her children, Arshia and Ikram. She made sure that they went to the best schools and colleges, learnt well, and would not hesitate to invoke divine help when she felt it was needed, both legally by prayers and illegally by striking deals with God. She is delighted that her granddaughter Zoya has taken up studies in psychology for her university degree. She hopes to present her own MA thesis, much treasured, to her granddaughter. She has thoroughly enjoyed the time with her grandchildren and cheered lustily for their achievements. She treats her elder grandchildren, Mannat and Aman, as pillars that she can always depend on. The poet Iqbal said, "Tu ise paimana e imroz o farda se na naap, Javedan, peham dawan, har dam jawan hai zindagi." Measure not life by the hourglass of yesterday and tomorrows to come. Life is eternal and ever-changing, forever renewing its youthfulness. Happy birthday to you, Mummy. And hear it now from your immediate family.
Nani, you may be turning 85 today, but there are so many actions of yours which makes me think you're still so young at heart and in mind. Your ability to pick up a new mind game like Sudoku and play it with so much of passion and vigor.
I also remember the fact that when we were young, we used to spend our holidays with you, and you would wake us up fairly early in the morning, and when we would complain saying it's a holiday, you said that when you were growing up, you used to wake up half an hour after normal waking up time for school. You thought that would be a good way to encourage us to study, do our homework in time, generally make the most of our day. Well, I can say with great pride that I am happy that you now spend nights staying up, whether it is to watch a tennis match, watch a movie, browse through your phone. Welcome to the 21st century, Nani. It's all about staying up till as long as you want and sleeping in for as long as you want. And I'm glad that you've started doing it.
Hi Nani, wishing you a very happy 85th birthday. I wanted to share a small memory with you today. I think I learned the concept of an incentive from you at a very young age. It was when you used to buy me a packet of Ruffle Lays from Malvinagar every time I solved a division problem. It was also at the same time that I understood what challenging oneself meant, as every time I got those problems right, you used to make it that much harder. Striving to solve those problems was the highlight of my time in junior school. And for once, it made me one of the smarter kids in class. I don't think that lasted too long after that. May you always inspire us to push ourselves beyond our self-perceived limits. Lots of love, Nani, and I miss you very much. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nani.
Happy 85th birthday, Mom. Bole Sonihal Sat Sri Akal. Okay, on that happy note, over to Zoya Singh for some nice things.
So, Daddy, today I painted a basket of flowers for you. It reminds us of the joy you bring to us and the happiness that lightens up the room. Wishing you a very, very happy 85th birthday. We all love you.
Mom, wishing you an amazing year ahead, wishing you a great day filled with joy, happiness, love, laughter, sunshine, and everything that your heart wishes for. You have been more than a mother, mother-in-law. Combined, you have exuded so much of laughter, grace, and given so much of love and regard. I wish we can reciprocate even 5% of that for you and engulf you in our love and happiness.
Shalom, Mom. You have a great day, great year, great life ahead. Stay positive, be happy.
दास तेरे की बेनती रिद कर परगार, तुम्हारी कृपा ते पार ब्रह्म, तुम्हारी कृपा ते पार ब्रह्म, दोखन को नास, दास तेरे की बेनती रिद कर परगार, दास तेरे ही बेनती रिद कर परगार, तुम्हारी कृपा ते पार ब्रह्म, तुम्हारी कृपा ते पार ब्रह्म, दोखन को